nice thing about barbecues, I think, is often the side dishes that come with them. And it's lovely to be able to make salads that you don't have to do while you're barbecuing. Certainly something like this, which is actually quite wholesome and quite filling. So for this one, we've got butternut squash, chickpea, and the main flavour is smoked paprika. And then we're going to add in some sort of seeds and onion and all sorts of lovely stuff. The lovely thing about sort of these colourful root vegetables is that they contain quite a lot of sugar. So when you caramelise them or roast them, it releases quite a lot of those natural sugars, which changes the flavour of the vegetable, intensifies it. And I would say that actually for majority of vegan and vegetarian dishes, if I need to use vegetables in it, even if it's a veggie lasagna or something, I will roast the vegetables first, just to kind of give them that oomph and intensify the flavour of them. Okay, so that's our butternut squash. And then here I've got some chickpeas, which have just come out of a can and drained and rinsed. But we are going to start by simply heating up our pan with a slick of olive oil. And I've got some chopped red onion and some seeds to go in there, some coriander and some cumin seeds. The dressing itself is really just this mix of vegetables, a little bit of extra oil if you want, and some lemon juice. But if you do want to add something more acidic, if you wanted a different acidic flavour, so apple cider vinegar, something like that would work brilliantly well as well. So to start with, I've got about a tablespoon of coriander seeds and the same with cumin, and I'm just going to pop them into my pan. And you'll see them start to sizzle a little bit. And you might even hear them a little bit. And that's really where you want it to be. You don't want to overcook them or burn them because they will get really, really bitter. So it's almost better to undercook them than overcook them. The reason I use whole seeds, and again, especially in vegan cooking, two reasons. One is the flavour is more intense. Because they haven't been sat as powder for months on end in a jar on a shelf. And the other reason is texture. So I find coriander seeds, especially as you cook them, they soften up a little bit, and then as you're eating the dish, you get this little pop of coriander flavour, which I actually find really pleasant. And then I'm going to just chop up some roasted garlic. So this garlic was cooked on the barbecue earlier. And all we did is wrapped it up in tin foil and then popped it onto the shelf above the barbecue and left it for about 20 minutes or so. And as you can see, it's actually really soft. It starts to fall apart really easily. It makes it super simple to chop up. And it's got this really lovely sweet roasted flavour and smell. And again, you can do this, make it into a paste if you want, just blend it or mash it with a fork, blend it in a blender, or just cook it up like this. And I sometimes will keep this in the freezer, especially if I've got lots of garlic left over. I'll pop it in the oven, roast it off a bit, and then pop it in the freezer so it's ready to go whenever I want it. When you're frying vegetables, don't be tempted to add more oil if things begin to stick. What you want to do is add a little bit of liquid. And I've got a bit of water here. Personally, a glass of wine is probably a bit better. And also the wine adds a little bit of flavour to it as well. But essentially, if you feel like it's beginning to get a bit too hot or it's beginning to stick to the pan, what you essentially want to do is just deglaze the pan a bit. So get all that lovely kind of caramelised ingredient back into the dish before it burns, before it goes bitter. And into that I'm going to add about 2 tablespoons of smoked paprika. So this isn't hot. Yeah, it's a lovely, I love it, smoky flavour, quite rich.
And then we're going to pop in our garlic.
And then all I want to do is just kind of cook that down a little bit, add a bit of water as need be. It's a beautiful colour and it smells amazing as well. While that is doing, I am going to squeeze some lemon. So I'm just going to roll the lemon a little. It just sort of starts to break down the structure inside, which makes them a little bit more juicy. There we go. Perfect. I'm going to add in my chickpeas at this point. My onions still need to soften up a little bit more. And then turn that up a little bit again. But it's nice for the chickpeas to just soak up all the flavours that we've built up in the pan. So I'm not going to cook the red pepper that I have here. I'm simply going to salt it a bit, give it a squidge just to start to soften it up a little bit, because really what I want is the colour and just that crunchy texture going through the salad, because everything else in here is quite soft. So again, with vegan food in particular, I find that if you can introduce more texture as well as flavour, that is kind of what elevates it a little bit. So I'm just literally going to salt it a bit and I'm going to scrunch it up. It's a good thing to do with onions as well, actually. If you want to get rid of that sort of slightly kind of intense oniony flavour of raw onion, if you do it with a little bit of salt and just give it a squidge, it softens them up and takes away that real intense blast of onion. So there we go. And now I'm going to stir in the charred butternut squash. Gently going to stir that around. I'm just going to taste a tiny little bit, just to see what we need, if we need any salt. Yeah, a little bit. And some pepper. Good dose of black pepper. And some salt. Beautiful serving dish. And then we're just going to finish it with some fresh herbs. Just again, lift the flavour a little bit, make it look a bit pretty. I've got a load of oregano here, which is in flower at the moment, so and loads of mint as well, but let's not go completely mad. I'm just going to put some oregano flowers on the top. Just a little bit of green. And again, whatever you have available, as long as it's soft and green, it will look pretty. And actually even spring onions. Some people throw away the tails of the spring. I don't really get that because again, they're really pretty and taste lovely. So don't do that, use them in your salads. Well, there we go.